Okay, hello and welcome to this price ladder video where we're going to be going through a specific little setup on how algorithms maneuvering on the order book. We're still on module 5 of the price ladder course. What we're going to be looking at is specifically a spoofer. So we're looking at a spoofer in the Bund futures. And what we're looking at specifically, for those of you that have seen the flipper type of price action, which is very, very specific, and when that comes onto the order book, you can see the flashing of the orders on various bids and offers, and you can see there's some sort of an algorithm in play with the flipper. The flipper almost seems like it's high frequency, whereas the spoofer, it could be done by anyone with a mouse and a ladder software. They can just kind of move their order around. The spoofer tends to be a little bit slower, and it seems as if the spoofer, in most cases, is trying to get a similar in most cases trying to get a similar sort of fill on the other side of the order book where his big bid or big offer is. Yeah, so there's a very similar kind of price action there. There is a few different types of spoofers. We're going to look at one specific one now in the Bund that came in on the 3rd. So if you guys wanted to look this up, this is the 3rd of November 2015, and I remember specifically on that day we did have a lot of Twitter activity where we were looking at it. Myself and Nanix were looking at this specific Bund spoofer very much in depth, and it seemed as if he was very, very active on this day. So there's actually quite a few examples on this day. We're going to look at just the one. So we're going to play it from play this price action replay video from about 1:30, 1:30, 1:32, and then we'll see how the market interacts, and we'll try and trade with it. Now, as you can see from the ladder that I'm currently pointing at here, so from this ladder, you can see that we're currently trading very close to the lows of the day. Again, that keeps happening. Sorry about that, guys. This is very close to the low of the day. So we're currently trending somewhat lower in the market. So there's a move lower. It's not necessarily a trend day, but we're moving towards the lows of the day. So we'll just give a little bit of context on that. And we're trading at 156.73. Let's see how the price action plays out at this price. So we're currently trading 156.73. Not much going through the market at the minute. At the bid, it seems as if there's very little liquidity. In these kind of situations where you can see the market can go bid and offer very quickly, it's almost as if there's an algorithm kind of filling in the market, and really the real buyers and sellers are about 2-3 ticks away. So if you can take note, notice where the market is, the best offer. It's very light on volume, and it'll kind of bulk up and then kind of thin out. So this kind of gives you an indication, like over here, for example, it goes from 55 to 400 very quickly. It almost seems as if like the real size is around here, and in here it's just basically market makers making a market. So let's just see how this plays out here. We've got very, very little size on the order book there, 156.70. We're moving towards the low of the day. If you were a big trader here and you wanted to get short, how could you do that? Well, let's see what happens at these 156.70s. We've got a big spoofer just came in there. He's moving between 156.70s and 69s. He's moved down to 68s here. Market's trading at the lows of the day. He's moved down to 67s, now back up to 68s. I think he's trying to see if he can spoof the market and push it upwards. So he's pushing it upwards, and in doing so, we can very much see that he's probably trying to get filled on the offers here. So he's probably got his offers lined up between 71, 72, 73 at all these prices. And every time they trade into him, look, he moves. Notice, very, very important. Every time someone trades into his price, he'll move down. He does not want to get filled, this guy. So that is very, very important note to take. As soon as this guy's gone, I'm going to try and look for a quick little short. So So long as he's in the market, he's still trying to get filled. He's still trying to get some size off, probably trying to get a short off here. He's gone. It seems as if he's gone here, so we're going to try and get filled at 70, 71s. Very tight risk, but we know that if there's anyone that kind of got spooked out of the trade and tried buying in front of him, it's probably long now, quite uncomfortable. And look how that doesn't even go bid at the price that we just got filled. It's immediately offered. There's no one in the market spoofing it anymore. So this guy's probably now short a few contracts, and he's probably even adding a bit of pressure now, selling it. So he's probably spoofed it up into these 71s to 73s. He's now adding a little bit of pressure, selling at market. He might actually even be spoofing very little size on these bids below here. Notice how every time we're trading through them, even though there's 500 lots on the bids, it doesn't take much to take them out. So let's just see how this trades here at 56.67s. 3 lots just traded into the bid. So 6 lots hit into the bid, 7 lots, 8 lots, 10 lots, just trading at market there. Look how it's just gone offered on 54 contracts. That was so crucial. So at this price here, where we had 500 lots, when we finally hit it and took it, basically sweeped the bid out, we took that out with 54 lots when there was really 500 lots sitting there. So that could also mean that some of these bids are actually quite fake. And you can see probably kind of trying to put a fake floor in the market while he's adding pressure on the sell side. And now the market's come in, you know, a good 6 ticks lower from where we were trading initially. So what we're going to try and do on this trade now is try and actually scale a little bit out. It seems that we're doing a little bit of volume at these 65s. We've got a bid here that seems, as we're trading into him at the minute, he's not really budging. He could also still be fake. We're going to see how he reacts effectively on this trade. Pure price action trade. We haven't really had any heat on this. Ever since it started going off at 71s, it's just been down ticking each and every price. And with that, there's no real reason to be getting out. But in any sort of second now, we could get that guy start to try and cover his position. Usually on these spoof trades, they're not looking for many ticks. So the fact that he's gotten quite a few, quite a lot of ticks out of this, might be looking to cover soon. So we're going to wait until potentially any big size gets lifted, or some of these offers kind of thin out and we start lifting, and we're trying. There we just lifted. We just lifted out on 16 contracts. I'm not really happy about that because it's not looking as sturdy as before. So I'll try and take off most of my size here. Bidding 63s, see if we can get filled at 63s. We don't necessarily want to take much risk on this. I'm not looking for anything spectacular. We have had a decent move off of that really quick scalp. Very little risk as well. So the good thing is we took very, very little risk on a trade that just appeared just from the order book gaming that we saw that came in at around these levels at 70s, 69s, 68s, and you could see the guy. We'll leave the 5 lot on just to see how that kind of trades out. But the most important thing here, just to to go through this again, is the fact that he's moving around and gaming. So anyone that's got integrity, so an integrity bid would have stayed there. And I keep trying to stress this. If someone wanted to get filled for 1,000 lots at 69s and he was bid there, if the market moves away from him, he'll move up. Yes, okay, he'll move up to try and get filled. But as soon as the market moves down towards him, he's not going to move back down again because he wants to get that fill. So as soon as you identify that action where he moves up with the market, then moves down with the market, so he's gaming. He's literally taking the piss, as we would say. He's not trying to get filled on this, and he's looking to do something else here. And if you can identify what he's trying to do, it's very quick scalp opportunities that you can take advantage of. So just because these guys are in the market, you shouldn't get frustrated trying to take it out on them because they're making your stressing you out, and it's making your trading a lot more difficult to execute. Really, there are opportunities when they appear, and if you can see their hand and see what they're doing, there's some good opportunities to be had. So we just quickly analyze what we saw, so observations, like we just mentioned, I'm going to highlight basically the main things that we saw. Big bid comes to market, does not want his fill or his or her fill, gaming. So as soon as you know that it's gaming, you know there's something potentially happening. So you could see he bids it up, then we can see market bids up, and we can make the assumption he's getting filled on the offer. And with that, the trade is, I mean, if we just highlight now, so if we just point out trade, so as soon as big bid disappears, we offered, so we offered the best offer. We don't try and take, we're not looking, to get short above where the market's trading. We're trying to get short offered at 71s. If we didn't get filled at 71s, we should be hitting market aggressively at 70s. So that's one key factor. Your risk is no more than 1 to 2 ticks. It's price action based. Obviously, if you see a big buyer step in, you want to be out pretty quickly. If it goes bid, so if it goes bid, for example, if it goes bid at the price here, now we're bid 72s, trading 73s, but there's, no real buying action. It just kind of went bid on very light size and then comes offered again. That's a good indication because it means like it's flipped up, comes back down, nothing really there. It's try to test, test the sellers, test the buyers to see. It advertises this price. If that price is not willing to be bought, comes back down. As long as it does that, we're good. But if it comes bid and then you see a big bid show up like 500 lots, trades into him, doesn't move, you want to be out, hitting 73s really quickly. So that's kind of the scenario you've got to keep in mind. So that's your risk on the trade. And really, your target's very discretionary. Target discretionary. And a lot of people ask me, well, wait, I can't measure my edge on this if my target's discretionary. Well, you could be getting out for, again, 1 or 2 ticks. It's pretty high probability if you can understand what he's trying to do. It's pretty high probability you'll take that 1 or 2 ticks. So you're risking 1 or 2 to make 1 or 2, but higher probability of success. So it's a good trading strategy. But you see, in this case scenario, we've moved 10 ticks from when we got short. It's no real telling. As long as you can tell that the price action's still heavy, someone's kind of selling at market and there's decent momentum in it, you should stay in the trade. Only get out when you start seeing the offer get a little lighter, or a big buyer comes in and lifts many contracts. So it's really quite discretionary, and it's very much based on flow. So we'll leave that at that. Hopefully you guys learned a little bit about that and how to trade a market spoofer. I'll try and get up a few more examples of that in the videos to come. Thanks for listening.